In this lecture, I'll talk about how you know the shape of your body. How do you know when your arms are outstretched? How do you form your hand into the appropriate position to pick up an object? Well, we wouldn't know anything about anything if we didn't have sensors. You already know about light-sensing neurons in the retina, and our bodies have sensors in them too. These sensors make measurements of our body's position. There are two types of sensors. They're called Golgi tendon organs and muscle spindle receptors, and these organs are located in different places and do similar but slightly different things. Golgi tendon organs are located at the junction between the muscle and the tendon. They are stretch-sensing neurons, and because of their position located at the tendon-muscle junction, we can say that they are in series with the muscle. Muscle spindle receptors are located within the muscle. They are also stretch-sensing neurons, but because of their position, we can say that they're in parallel with the muscle. The different positions of these two types of sensors make them sensitive to different aspects of body position and the forces that our bodies experience. By being in series, Golgi tendon organs are sensitive to the amount of force applied to the tendon. By being in parallel, muscle spindle receptors aren't directly connected to the load the muscle is carrying, but are sensitive to the length of the muscle as that muscle length changes for different body positions. You need both types of sensors because body position isn't uniquely related to either muscle length or to the force applied, but rather to the combination of the two. Consider what happens when your arm is in this position here, say at this particular angle, and your hand is empty. Your muscle has a certain length to it, and your tendon has a certain amount of force applied to it. Your muscle spindle receptor measures the length of the muscle, and the Golgi tendon organ measures the amount of force that's applied to the tendon. And the muscle spindle receptor and Golgi tendon organs would be sending signals to the brain to report these forces and lengths. But now consider what happens if you're holding a weight in your hand. Now it takes more force to hold the arm in that same position. So the same angle is associated with different muscle length and different forces. This angle is the same as this angle. The muscle contracts and becomes shorter, the tendon stretches, and now the Golgi tendon organ and muscle spindle receptor are both sending different signals to the brain, despite the fact that the angle is the same. So the brain has to combine the signals in such a way as to maintain an accurate sense of body configuration, a configuration which is the same in the two cases. This kind of teamwork by the brain, combining signals to solve ambiguity problems, is something that we'll see again and again throughout this course. Next up, we'll spend a little time reviewing the basics of neural signaling in enough detail to give you a good sense of the brain's use of electricity. We'll focus on the resting membrane potential, which you've heard about before, and we'll introduce action potentials, another important type of electrical signal in neurons. And then I'll come back to these two types of body position receptors and talk about how they produce electrical signals concerning your body's configuration.